Back with Bloomberg News, I'm Rashad Salamat in Hong Kong. Agricultural Bank of China is pricing its initial public offering below the top end of its range. The lender may still, though, be set to have the world's biggest initial public offering, although it's going to be a close call. Bloomberg's Stephen Engel joining us just from down the road from ABC's headquarters with the details. Steve.
Yeah, Platinum Partners in New York saying that agbank should be pleased with this pricing, given the market conditions right now, Rish, and that it sends out a mildly reassuring message to global investors. Here's what we're finding out ahead of the official announcement. People close to the deal telling Bloomberg News that China's largest bank by number of customers, Agricultural Bank of China, priced its Hong Kong shares at $3.20 Hong Kong apiece after the stock was offered for between $2.88 and $3.48 Hong Kong dollars, so it's the upper mid rate of the range offered to investors. In Shanghai, though, people telling Bloomberg that agbank is said to be selling at the top of the range, selling more than 22 billion shares at 2 yuan, 68 fen each. That would put the IPO at $19.2 billion US dollars. Yes, it would be short of ICBC's 21.9 billion share sale back in 2006 as the world's largest IPO on record. However, agbank could still take the title if an over-allotment option is exercised. Agbank has an option to increase this IPO by 15% to meet any excess demand, which would boost the size of the sale to $22.1 billion. Now, the bank was successful in securing cornerstone investors like the Sovereign Wealth Fund out of Qatar and also the Kuwait Investment Authority, as well as Standard Chartered Bank and many others. Julian May of Charlemagne Capital in London says ABC, as it is also known here locally, has cleverly kept the price range realistic as they're IPOing not in the best of market conditions where the Shanghai Composite Index has fallen more than 26% year to date. Agbank's Hong Kong share price represents about 1.65 times forecast book value. That's compared with ICBC at 2.1 times and China Construction Bank, Rish, at 2 times. Again, Shanghai trades next week, July 15th, Hong Kong the following day, the 16th. Back over to you.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Let's get more on the final price of this initial public offering. We're joined by Paul Lam. He's Executive Director at Huatai Financial in Hong Kong. Huatai Financial is a Hong Kong subsidiary of Huatai Securities. Thanks very much. Well, what do you make of it all at the moment? You know, do you think, Paul, that this is the right, is it the right environment to be having an IPO, I guess, but they're doing it anyway, but significant discount expected?
The discount is actually not that big. Actually, the average price to earning ratio is about 11 for the 4 major state-owned banks, and the price to book is about 2.2. And right now, the Bank of Agriculture in China, they are offering the price to earning about 10, and the price to book is about a little bit below 2. The mainland China is having it at $2.68 RMB, which is a price to book of 1.6. All in all, is subject to the not that good market sentiment at the moment. So I would say that it is not a very good bargain, but still the pricing is not that high. So
would you recommend people buy into the IPO, though?
Yeah, I would say that buying at the moment at the IPO period is not that much different from buying it from the secondary market. That's why the local subscription of this Bank of Agriculture of China is actually not comparable with the previous like ICBC and Bank of Construction.
Well, tell us a bit more why it's not comparable here.
Basically, it's subject to the bad market sentiment at the moment. And the Bank of Agriculture is traditionally a retail bank. Is doing business in the rural area and the agricultural sector. And for those 2 areas, actually the profit margin is not as high as the other state-owned banks. So,
well, given that it's, many of its customers are retail-based, then one would have to say that conservatism will rule. So is it more of a long-term bet than a short-term one?
Definitely, you're correct. From my opinion, if I want to buy this bank, I would keep it for a long term. And definitely, sooner or later, within a year time, I would say that this stock will be part of the Hang Seng Index. So the major players, the cornerstone investors will keep the stock, and then the price of the stock will remain very stable. But all in all, the future price prospect is not very...
yeah, I was going to say, probably on the first day, when we get the trading, first day of trading, we'll probably see it probably price to sell, so it's going to probably go up. But what happens afterwards? Because we've seen so many IPOs in Hong Kong which haven't really fared well after the first day.
I would say that it will remain stable until the next profit announcement comes out. So the director of the company keep emphasizing that the company actually has a very fast growth. Within the 4 stated owner banks, they have the fastest growth.
Doesn't the issue, though, of non-performing loans, bad loans, bother you?
Well, you can look at the bad side and the good side. Well, at the moment they have bad loans, but, well, as they become listed, they will have less social obligations. Therefore, these bad loans will actually be getting less, and probably the reserve for the bad loans will get less.
But in the short term, we've got to work them through, haven't we? That's the problem.
Yeah, after it gets listed, the company, the bank will certainly work out on that.
Right. What about, generally speaking, equity markets in Shanghai on the way, I think 25% down so far the last year or thereabouts? You know, it's not been a particularly good time of it. Do you see this bottoming out now, or do you think actually this IPO may weigh even further on the index?
It's difficult to say, but I expect that the Shanghai index actually is getting close to the bottom. I can't say that it is at the bottom right now, but definitely it's getting close to the bottom. So after the Bank of Agriculture, after they listed, there are a lot of spare money that will released after this IPO time. So I would say that it is probably quite good for the market.
Paul Lam, thank you very much indeed for joining us. He's Executive Director at Huatai Financial in Hong Kong. Huatai Financial, a subsidiary of Huatai Securities there in China. China's, I think, the 4th biggest securities firm there as well. Just take a look at the World Cup. Holland into the World Cup final, but will their opponents be Germany or Spain? That match happens on Wednesday. We have a preview, and indeed also what happened yesterday as well. Watch that.
Stunning goal. It's opened up here for Diego Forlan. Through the goalkeeper, who'll be disappointed. Is Snyder taking over? Oh, and Van Persie was there. It's got him now.
RCN, a company of Allianz Global Investors, brings you the Asia Pacific Index Report.